Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Medical Assistant with Miss K. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. My name is Kendra, aka Miss K. I'm a medical assistant instructor. If you're a returning visitor or subscriber, welcome back. So today I am doing the second part of the credit topic that I've been doing in this money series. This is actually part 6 of the money series, but it's part 2 of the credit topic. Okay. I've talked about budgeting, saving, paying off debts. And the reason why I had to break the credit topic into 2 because there's so many layers, and even breaking it into 2, there's no way for me to really go in deep with you guys on this channel without making these videos hours long, but if anybody needs like more personal help, more one-on-one help, you can always book a session with me. That link will be down in the description box. But this is just, I'm just scratching the surface with some of these topics. Now, in addition to being a medical assistant instructor, I do help people with their credit. I help people with their budgets and things like that. And so what I'm doing with these series is merging the 2. I used to do this at my former school. I used to implement some of these sessions into my curriculum just to teach my students about money, because many of them didn't know. A lot of them were fresh out of high school. Some were literally my age and just never been taught. And so that's my goal with this series. And so today, this video is not going to be anywhere as long as the first credit video was. I didn't even plan for that video to be that long, but I'm just going to get right into it. I'm just going to be talking about how to correctly use credit cards today. And I know everybody is not into credit cards. This is for those people who have credit cards and you want to make sure you're using it correctly, or you may be thinking about getting a credit card. If you're not into credit and you feel like cash is king, more power to you. But this is for those people who do utilize credit cards, because credit cards, they have a lot of benefits, and we're going to talk about some of those today. And let me go ahead and share my screen. If you haven't watched those other videos in the series, I do recommend them. I do recommend you watch that. Oh, let me go here. Let me share my screen first. And I'm going to try to be quick and to the point with this one. All right, let me go ahead and make that bigger. Oh, you know what? Let me change this view so I am not on the side. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. So myth is that credit cards are bad. Some people do feel like that, and I'm not here to change anybody's mind. If you feel like that, if you are, I know there's a lot of financial experts that are like that. They don't recommend credit cards at all. They're like, you just use a cash system. I personally have credit cards. I personally see the value in having good credit and having credit cards. You just got to know how to use them correctly. Okay. So you may be watching this and you may have credit cards and you're like, I have done so bad with my credit cards, but I want to do better. And I'm so happy to hear that if that's you. Another myth, I should close my old credit card accounts that I'm not using. Now, the truth is that closing it may affect your credit history and possibly your credit mix. Now, if you watch that first credit video, which I suggest you do if you're not familiar with how credit works, if you close an old credit card account, it may possibly negatively affect your credit. So I don't recommend closing old accounts. Now, if you're not using the card, I would suggest maybe, okay, let me just say this. If you're not using it because you're trying to, be disciplined, then maybe just consider just not having a card, throwing a card away. But I don't even want to suggest that, because they may close it. I know they used to suggest cutting up the cards. If you don't use it, they're going to close it. So I don't even suggest that anymore. We used to, and when I say we, I just mean people in the credit space. We used to say that, some of us anyway used to say that, but actually creditors will close your accounts. I don't even suggest that. Actually, I just suggest maybe using it on small purchases instead of closing it, because let's just say that's your oldest credit account. You've had that credit card for 10, 15 years. If you close it, you're going to lose some of your credit history, and it may negatively affect your score. Okay. And if it's a part of your credit mix, which we talked about in the last video, and you no longer have that revolving account, that may be a negative effect. Now, the only time I would say definitely go ahead and close it is if you have an annual fee on that card that is just way too much. You're like, this is too much. I'm not even using a card. It's no longer worth it. Now, in that case, I understand it. But if you don't have an annual fee and it's just sitting there, just use it on something small like gas and just pay it off, or, one of your streaming accounts, Netflix or Hulu or something like that. But I do not recommend closing old accounts unless you have an annual fee that is just too much. Okay. All right, so these are some things you want to look for in a credit card because as I mentioned, credit cards are not bad. All right, these are some of the features that the best credit cards have. I don't even look at a credit card if these features are, if not all, at least some of these features are there. Okay, now if you can get all, now I would tell you this: I have a credit card that I suggest. I'm going to leave it in the description. It is with Discover, and the reason why I suggested is because all of these things that I'm listing here, they have it. And it's actually a referral link. So if you do use my link to sign up for a Discover card and you're approved, we will both get a bonus from it. All right. But anyway, it has zero annual fee. You don't have to pay a fee. Some annual fees can range anywhere from $69 to $300, $400, $600, $700, right? And the higher end cards, like American Express and things like that. Those most of the higher end cards, American Express cards, they have very high interest rates. I prefer zero annual fee, but 0% APR. So this means that you're not paying any interest for a certain amount of time. It's an introductory offer. So it can range anywhere from 6 months to 18 months. And this means that whatever you borrow, that's all you're paying back. You're not paying any interest. Cash back or travel rewards. This means as you're using your credit card, you are getting points to travel. You're getting points on hotels, airlines, and things like that. This is how sometimes any of you guys know somebody who just seemed like they travel for free. That's because they have points. They have used credit cards. They have a point system. So they're traveling, or you may get cash back. Personally, my cash back cards, I don't even cash out. I just put it toward my statement balance. So my cash back, I'm just paying off my credit card with that. Another thing you want to look for is 0% introductory offer from balance transfers if you ever need to do a balance transfer. Also, you want a decent interest rate. Now, interest rates on credit cards, they can be extremely high. Now, if you don't carry a balance from month to month, the interest rate won't matter anyway because you won't be paying any interest. But if you do carry a balance, you definitely want to, which I don't recommend carrying a balance. If you have a card that you're paying interest on, because that's money that unless you're paying it off, you're going to be paying interest. And if you're carrying a balance, you should be using a card that has no interest. This is why you want to go for that introductory offer of 0%, right? All right. So using your credit card correctly to boost your score, I'm gonna give you guys a few things you can do. So one of the things you can do is pay off your balance each month. This helps you to avoid interest, and it also looks good to the credit bureaus when you're paying a balance. It doesn't matter if that balance is $5 or $500. It is just reported as a balance is being paid off each month. So let's say you put your gas on your credit card. Once you get the bill, you just pay it right off instead of just letting it sit, right? And then paying on it. You just pay it right off. Same thing if you have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Peacock, any of those streaming apps. Consider putting one of those small or several of those smaller purchases that you can easily pay off every month. I do not recommend using credit cards for purchases that you cannot easily pay back off. Right now, if you have a interest-free credit card, if you are still in that introductory period and you're paying on it, then that's fine. But when you have your credit cards that are more established, that you've had for some years, the introductory period is over. Now you're paying interest. You want to pay those balances off each month, okay? Because it looks good. You'll get those reports, Kendra, you paid off a balance this month. Congratulations. And that balance could have just been $5. It just looks good. Okay. Also, I say, pay off your balance each month, but don't pay it too soon. So one of the mistakes people make is that, I mentioned going to the gas station. One of the mistakes people make is they go to the gas station, they use their card, and then they go right to their bank app and then pay off the credit card. Or once soon as they get paid, then next week they pay it off. The danger with doing that is that if it never gets reported to the credit bureau, it doesn't look like you're using your card. So you want to at least let it report to the credit bureau and then you pay it off. Because if you pay it off soon as you soon as you use it, then it's not going to help your credit. Okay. Now, if you don't care about it helping your credit and you just want to pay it off, that's fine. Because I will say this, and I didn't even include a slide on this, but I do know that some people, they use their credit cards just for the points. Okay. So they may go to the grocery store and use their credit card, and then, just so they can earn those travel points or that cash back, right? And then they'll pay it right off. Now, people who pay it right off, a lot of times they either don't know that that's actually not helping them when it's not reporting, or they don't care. So if you're that person, you don't care about, it being reported and it positively affecting your credit in that way, and you just want to pay it off, that's fine. But if you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you want to increase your credit score. All right. So also, if you're carrying a balance, keep your utilization below 30%, ideally below 10%. Now, I did talk about this in the credit video, the first part. Now, the creditors that you're borrowing from, they want you to use the money you're borrowing, right? But when it comes to the credit bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, they don't want to see you using more than 30%, because you look like you're a risk. You look like you could possibly look like you're living off your credit. They want to see you using below 30%. Once you start getting above 30%, then your credit is negatively impacted, ideally below 10%. So I got an example here. So if your credit card balance is $500 and your credit card company reports every month on the 27th, you got to make sure that that balance by the time it reports is $150 and below. And again, this is if you're carrying a balance. If you're paying it off every month, this doesn't apply to you. So if you use the entire $500, so I don't want you guys to mistake what I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't use the $500. If you do, just make sure you pay it down before it reports to the credit bureau, so that they only see you using below 30%. A lot of people get confused with this because they don't understand why I have to do this. But I'm telling you guys, if you regularly check your credit report and you see your utilization going up and down, and how your credit score goes up as your utilization goes down, you probably definitely understand what I'm saying. But for those of you that don't know, this is going to be key with increasing your score. So the next thing I want to show you guys is, if you have, let's say you have multiple credit cards and you have $20,000 all together across all of your credit cards. Now, and your credit card every month, it reports to the credit bureau on the 27th. You need to make sure your balance is below $6,000, right? To be below that 30%. Now, some people may be watching this and like, that is unrealistic for me. Listen, I get it. Trust me, I understand. If you use, that 20,000, and then you're like, I can't pay it down to 6,000 before. Listen, I understand, but you gotta understand this. I just want to teach you guys so that way you can understand how it works. And when I refer to knowing how to play the credit game, this is one of the things I'm talking about. It's about, using your card as much as you want, but knowing when it reports to the credit bureau. That's going to be so important, guys. Two things you definitely want to know. You need to know the date that it reports to the credit bureau, which is your statement date. That's the date that it reports to the credit bureau. You should know that for all of your credit cards. Okay. What day do they report to the credit bureau? A few ways you can find out. You can simply just look on your credit card bill and look at your statement date, or you can look at your, when you look at your credit report online, like if you look on Experian.com, if you create an account on there, you'll see what day that is reporting each month. You can do that. Okay. And then the other thing you want to make sure is your due date. Because of course you want to pay your bills on time. I mentioned that in the first part, pay your bills on time. All right. Because guess what? If you don't pay your bill by the due date, then you are going to, if you don't pay the balance off, you're going to accrue interest. And then if you pay it late. Now, the one thing about credit card payments, if you pay it past the due date, it won't get reported to the credit bureaus for 60 days, but you may accrue a late fee. So now you got interest to pay and you got a late fee. Who wants to be paying back unnecessary money, right? So I don't went left. I don't want to go on a tangent, but I just want to make sure you guys understand this utilization. So I'm just going to go back just real quick. Keep your utilization below 30%, ideally even lower than that, 10%. Now, when I first started studying credit and I looked at, the characteristics of the credit report characteristics of people who have perfect credit. And one of the things that I noticed among these people who have perfect credit, when I say perfect credit, I mean an actual 850, is that their utilization is very low, like 1%, 2% low. Okay. So it is very important to have a low utilization. Okay. Not to say that if you're a 1%, 2%, you're automatically going to be at 850, because there's different factors. There's going to be multiple different factors, but that's one of the things that I've realized. Another thing is that they had a whole bunch of accounts. They had several different accounts. And I talked about in the last video as well, the importance of having a good mix of credit. All right, another thing you can do to boost your score is request a credit limit increase. Guys, I've done that and my score just jumped up because now your utilization is higher. So that's one thing you can do. Now, of course, you're not going to do this if you've been late on that credit card payment. You want to do this on a card that you use regularly and that, you've been paying on. And it's been a few months since you got a credit limit increase. So if you just got one last month, you don't want to ask again. They say like you can ask maybe every 3 months, every 90 days, so you can request a credit limit increase on your credit cards. And I'm telling you guys, it will make a big difference. You will be surprised how much a difference it will make, because you'll be surprised at how much they will give you. Some credit card companies, when they see you using it, you're on time, you're using a card, they will up it. Just wanted to point that out, guys, that it does help with your utilization when you get a credit limit increase. All right, so how do you pay off credit card debt? Now, and I mentioned this in paying off debt video. You just want to list all your credit card debts from the smallest to largest. This is a snowball method. There's a couple different methods, okay? Snowball method, you're going to list your debts from the smallest to the largest, all right? You're going to make minimum payments on all of your debts, right? On that smallest debt, pay as much as you can. Pay as much as you can. If you can, pay it all off, okay? But pay as much as you can. Now, whatever payment you were making on that smallest debt, once you pay it off, you're going to start making it on that the next one up, okay? So let's just say and I use this example on the paying off debt video, but I'm going to give it here just in case you didn't watch that video. But let's just say you have credit card that is 150, have a credit card account that is 500, and you have a credit card account that is 1,000. So let's say every month on the 150, you're paying $20 a month, right? Once you pay that 150 off, that $20 that you were paying towards that 150, now it's going to start going towards the 500, okay? So if you were paying $50 already a month on the 500, add that 20, now you're paying $70. Pay that 500 off, right? Now that $70, you're going to apply it to that next one up, which is 1,000. Let's say you were paying $100 every month on a 1,000. Now you got that $70 you want to add to it. So now you're paying $170 on that 1,000, and then you're going to pay it all off. Okay, keep doing that until you pay it all off. So it's a snowball method, meaning it's just picking up the payments as you go. So you're going to pick it up from this one, pick it up from that one, pick it up until it's all paid off. Okay. So this is one of the most popular methods. This is by the financial expert Dave Ramsey. You may have heard of him. Now, he is one who does not believe in credit card debt. He is like cash is king. He is that one. So he is not going to suggest having credit cards or any of that. And then the avalanche method. So you're going to make a list. Instead of making it from your smallest debt to the largest, you're going to list it by the interest rate. Okay. So you want to list the highest interest rate first, right? And you want to start attacking that one first. So just like with the snowball method, you're going to make your monthly payments on your debts, right? The one with the highest interest rate, pay as much as you can on that debt. Okay. Just like with the snowball method, whatever you were paying on that debt, you take that payment and add to the next one. And the reason why you want to just keep taking that same payment instead of, because you might look at it like, oh my goodness, I don't have to pay this $50 a month anymore. Like, no, keep that $50 a month. Don't look at it like I don't have to pay that. No, you keep paying that, but you just pay that on the next debt. So instead of relaxing and like, okay, good, I'm done. No, you keep paying on it. That's how you get out of debt quickly. This is proven. These methods are proven. It works. Okay. So I think, yeah, this is the last slide, guys. So I told you guys I was going to get to the point with this video, because that last video, I was literally like an hour, and I said, I'm not doing that with this video. So I hope that this helps, guys. I am going to do the next video in the financial series. It's supposed to be on investing. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm also going to do a video just kind of giving you guys some encouragement along this journey, because I know that it's not always easy. Okay. I have been rock bottom. I've gone through a lot financially. And so that's why I'm so passionate about helping people, because I have learned a lot over the years from my own mistakes and just being a student of finances. I am a student of finances. I spent years just learning and soaking up knowledge and researches and taking courses. And so that's why I love to help people. And because I'm already teaching you guys on this channel how to pass certifications and, you know, your clinical skills, why would I not incorporate that into this channel as well? So guys, let me know down below how you're doing on this series, if you're enjoying it. If you have credit cards, if you plan to apply for a credit card, I'm going to leave the credit card down below that I think is like one of the best, because I use it. I refer this credit card to other people. And then we also, like I said, we also get referral bonuses for you using my link. I think that's it, guys. But thank you guys again for visiting my channel. Make sure if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do so. If you enjoyed this video or found value in it, make sure you like it for me. And of course, you can always share with someone that you know may benefit from it. All right, guys, be blessed.